By the time you guys are watching this, it's after Valentine's Day, but the day I'm filming this, it is Valentine's Day. I'm very distracted today. I'm pretty much just daydreaming about my boyfriend. I really like this guy. You know, since I'm thinking about him, I might as well share a little story about us. When we first started going out, he knew that I had just finished my master's in flute performance. He was really excited about it because he loves music. He has a very good ear. Once he's heard a song, he can hum or sing it back pretty much exactly, like only after hearing it once or twice. It's safe to assume, right, that when you meet a person who's just finished a master's in music, that they would be able to share in that same kind of thing, right? Okay, if you guys are not caught up to date yet, I recently discovered why I can't do that. Long story short, I am extremely visually dominant as a learner. And so I recently discovered that I am also visual when it comes to music. When I see notation, that's how I know what note I'm playing. I also visualize colors when I'm playing music. Essentially, I relate what I hear to what I would see. For most of my life prior to getting into music school, I was actually known as a visual artist. So a lot of people were really surprised that I went into music. It actually took John is the name of my boyfriend, a few weeks, if not a couple months, to actually admit to me that he is a gamer and all his friends are gamers. I grew up with video games too, okay? Like right behind you guys, I have an SNES and an N64 up on my shelf that I am planning on displaying when we finally get to move into our own place someday. He admits to me in the car that he's a gamer, and I'm just like, holy crap, really? Like, really, you're a gamer? Hell yes! Let's play games. Very soon after that, he took me to the arcade. That was actually where I discovered that John's specialty in the arcade are the music games. He was really excited to get me to try it because I am a professional musician, and he's like, oh my gosh, you know, my new girlfriend is probably going to be amazing at music games, and I can play music games with her and we can like show off to people and be really cool and awesome together. Well, here's what actually happened. Visually, when you're looking at a music game, there are so many colors, arrows. You have to press things and slide. Where are you sliding to? How long do you press something before you release it? See, to me, I'm used to like whole notes and half notes and quarter notes. I can see rests, I can see the bar lines, and I can see exactly what's going on in a music staff. In my brain, I had already locked the idea of rhythm and musical notation of any sort onto a musical staff. Any kind of rhythm game is just a different form of musical notation to me. My brain is like, whoa, I can't do this at full speed because I don't know this musical notation yet. Yeah, there's like this tutorial that they always take you through in the beginning. It goes by so fast and I can't process which color and certain symbol means something. Like, I can't do it fast enough. I always find that this is the problem for me, even if I'm playing something like Super Smash. Legitimately, I've had to practice because I can't remember exactly what's forward tilt A and what's down B, what's up B. So what I end up doing is I only truly remember like maximum 4 or 5 moves, and I spam them, which is not good for playing something like Smash because your opponent can penalize you basically for using the same moves over and over because you become very predictable. Playing against John, we duel a lot of times. He will penalize me for using the same moves over and over again. So I have learned through that to mix things up. It takes a long time. I cannot pick it up really easily. I actually just started to play the original Yoshi's Island. I'm still getting jump and swallow mixed up. It's actually somewhat embarrassing as a gamer to admit that. This is what's happening to me when I'm playing that music game. It's almost like too much mental stimulation, because on top of all the different symbols and the different colors and the fact that it's all moving, there's actually a music video playing behind all of this stuff. So my eyes are also super distracted by the animation that's happening behind the notation. I failed it so hard, the machine didn't even allow me to have another play. Like, it was bad. John's standing there like, I thought she has a master's? Very embarrassing. And so I, for a long time, avoided music games, but he kept trying to encourage me. And so he has downloaded a music game on my computer. I have found that that game is not as bad for me because there's no music video playing in the background. It's really just the arrows. But I find what trips me up is that I'm so used to musical notation being static, whereas DDR or any kind of music rhythm game, the notation is moving. I can look ahead like 2 or 3 bars ahead and I kind of know what's coming up next, but at the same time, I know exactly where to look. If I am wondering what note to hit next, I can quickly look back at where I am. Whereas if the notes are just going like this, you can't exactly look ahead very far. That's why some people increase the speed of the arrows in DDR. But I get confused because I relate what I see visually so much to what is actually happening when that may not actually be the case. If things are going really fast, my body's initial reaction is to go very fast, but then it's not actually going that fast. And so there's that like conflict in my head. But you know, it's not like I could put all of that into words almost 5 years ago now when we had that date. John is a saint. He's been encouraging me anyway. And then he lent me Final Fantasy Theatrhythm for the 3DS. There's something about that game that sat very well with me. I think it's because as you get better and better, you start to get multiple lines of music going at you, but it's not coming towards you or away from you like most DDRs are going up or going down. I think there's just something about the sideways motion that my brain computes better because it looks like a musical staff. I played that game for a while and noticed that I was actually kind of getting better. So after that, John tried to start getting me into DDR. I was very reluctant to get into it because it legitimately to me feels like I'm, 1, learning an entirely new instrument, and 2, a whole new system of musical notation. But then we went to Japan. Oh my gosh, people are so good at music games. Like, it is absolutely insane. Like, we actually watched some people play and I don't even understand. Things are going so fast and they're just kind of like, they look like they are playing an instrument. Some of these machines have buttons on the side, some of them are like circles and you have to go like this, and then some of them have like foot pedals. We come back from Japan, we miss Japan a lot, so we ended up just going to the arcade more. I've now started to get into Dance Rush. I think the thing that makes Dance Rush slightly easier for me is that the right foot and the left foot is just like blue and orange. So there's only 2 colors. It's all just kind of like coming at you. So it's a lot easier for me to not get distracted. Whereas I find that on DDR, I get distracted very easily because I start to question myself like, what does blue mean and what does red mean? And not only are the arrows color coded, but depending on which direction that they're pointing, you have to make a decision on which foot goes to which arrow. I've been discussing this with John. He actually tells me that what he does is he just does it by ear. He kind of maps what he sees to what he hears. I'm not really doing that. I'm only mapping what I see to what I should be doing, which is what I'm feeling. Based on what he sees, since he knows rhythmically what it should sound like, he now has more room in his brain to think about which foot should go where. It's obvious, but I never really realized how hearing-based these rhythm games actually are. And I find myself doing that even on Theatrhythm. In order to play it well, you have to really like hear the rhythm and just kind of go with the rhythm. I currently am having issues with feeling the rhythm, going with the rhythm, but going with the rhythm with it not dragging and not rushing. The only way for me to really keep it exact is if I line it up visually. I'm still working that part out. I haven't truly like figured it out yet. I don't think I ever realized how visually distracted I can be with video games until I started playing rhythm games. I often find myself having to like almost glaze my eyes over a little bit to prevent me from getting too distracted looking at one thing and then the next and then not knowing what the music is doing. As some of you know, I am the type of person who can just turn off my ear and not listen to what the melody is whatsoever. I have to listen to a song probably at least minimum 20 times before I can get most of it stuck in my head. I have gotten better, and even John says that I've gotten better. He will not lie to make me feel better about myself, but I still have a lot to work on. This is very similar to the frustrations that my own students expressed to me about the flute. It made me remember what it was like learning the flute for the first time. It takes a very long time to learn your craft, and playing rhythm games is a craft. He's basically taken me back to that beginner's stage. I understand the kind of like, you really want to be good at something, but you're not good at it right now, but you also know what it looks like to be really good. And you want to be that so badly, but you know you are so far away from it. People say that it takes 10,000 hours to really hone a craft, and it's so true. I have spent more than 10,000 hours on the flute, which is probably the only reason why I play it the way I do. In my head, I know that I have like more than 9,900 hours to go to practice rhythm games. It's daunting. It's very humbling. It opens your eyes. It pops your bubble of being a professional, because as a professional, you really forget what it's like to be a beginner. John has done some good things in my life. I really don't think I would be as compassionate of a teacher as I am now if it wasn't for him. That's all I have to say for today. If you want to hang out, I'm on Twitch and Patreon, but otherwise I'll see you guys next week. Bye.